Hello, Whole Brain Teaching friends. It's me again, Kyla Tesmer. I teach fourth grade ELA in North Carolina. I am a Platinum Certified Whole Brain Teaching teacher, and I'm joined with my amazing partner in crime, Susannah.
Thank you, Kyla. Hello, everyone. I am Susannah Austin. I am also Platinum Certified. I also teach the best grade, fourth grade, but down in Florida. Welcome to our newest installment in our series, How to Set Up a Whole Brain Model Classroom.
We are so excited that you are joining us during this live watch party. We have previously recorded this video, but we are currently live down in the chat. We will be dropping links and hopefully answering any questions that you might have. We also love any advice that you want to share with us. If you are watching this after the live, it is a good idea to go ahead and tag us if you have questions. However, if we don't get to that question right away, our whole brain teaching community is absolutely phenomenal, and they will be happy to help answer questions or share some of their own advice.
Yes, and Kyla, just like the amazing second edition of Coach's book, these sessions are modular. Please, teachers, pick what you want and when you want to add it to your classroom. Watch for the Amazon link for the book in the comments below.
Susannah, I do have to say that is probably my favorite part of Coach B's book and all of his games. It's so easy to add these elements anytime throughout the school year. We do what we feel is beneficial for our classroom and what we feel confident in implementing. Remember, go slow to go fast.
That's right, Kyla. And today we're going to be talking about the AlphaHawk Wall. So, what is an AlphaHawk? AlphaHawks live for others. They're not exactly role models. Role models can be really good at their craft, but they don't necessarily live for others. AlphaHawks live for others. They are life guides, as Coach says in his book.
So, in order to set up your AlphaHawk wall, you're going to want to start by making a heading, add a border if you'd like, and you will want to lock this up. It's just another way to add that centricity to your classroom. It can also be an item that you unlock with your stories, which you can go back and watch our video on how to set up stories. It's under the guides on the Super Improver Facebook page. This past year, I incorporated my daily virtues with my AlphaHawk wall, which meant I didn't unlock my AlphaHawks until we learned about all of the virtues, which takes me about 5 weeks. And I don't usually start unlocking those until the second or third week of school, which is just another example of spreading out these whole brain teaching elements to work with you and your classroom. So I will show you how I locked mine up. The reason I have this picture is because you can see that we had a level up on Super Improver, but my title of AlphaHawks is covered by those black clouds with the lock. It keeps that centricity, wondering what is the title of this board going to be. Now, I might unlock AlphaHawk before I unlock Super Improver this next school year, or I might leave it how I had it. It just depends on how my year unfolds. Remember, you control your model whole brain teaching classrooms and games. They do not control you.
And I think every teacher is looking at that little boy's face, how excited he is for just simply getting a certificate for 5 Super Improver stars. Well, Kyla, the next step is to share your own personal AlphaHawks. One idea is to share 5 personal AlphaHawks, 1 per day for a week. These can be people from your personal life or world influencers such as Mother Teresa, or even a character from a book that exemplifies living for others. And that makes me think of a story that I read my 4th graders every year called Stone Fox. If you know the story, the dog, Searchlight, would be the AlphaHawk. He was loyal and he gave his life for little Willie. But next, go ahead and put the pictures of your AlphaHawks up on the board. That way you can model to your students how to look towards your personal AlphaHawks throughout the day when things are hard or feel overwhelming.
Which, Susannah, can be very often for us teachers in a classroom full of students. So now that your students understand what an AlphaHawk is and have met your personal AlphaHawks, it's time for them to help build that wall. We will link this parent letter down in the comments, which can be sent home to explain to families about what AlphaHawks are. I also made a template that I send home with the letter for students to complete. It has a space for a picture, either printed or drawn. And I know Susannah and I spoke about this, that we tell parents that they can email, or I use Class Dojo in my classroom. They can send us those pictures and we print them for them if they don't have access to a printer. I also added the sentence stems to help students and parents think about why this person is an AlphaHawk. It shouldn't just because that they're a good football player or a good volleyball player. It needs to be how they live for others. The students then will share their personal AlphaHawks with the class, and we add them up to our wall.
That is so right, Kyla. And that building of the wall throughout the whole year is what adds connections with us and our students and their personal lives. So another idea is you can implement desk plates. And these can be found on Teacher Pay Teacher. But last year I used self-adhesive 3x3 pockets. Again, the link for Amazon will be down on the bottom, but this is how I did it with my AlphaHawks. It kind of reminded me of having a family picture up on the fireplace mantle or on your desk at school. It keeps these people that you look up to in front of your eyes and in your heart and your mind. And I told my students to go ahead and touch the little heart on the frame whenever they felt they needed help from their AlphaHawk. I also included a little scorecard for the students to rate how well they pleased their AlphaHawk during the day. This was totally optional, and if I agreed with their score, it could result in a role for a personal star for their score for their student improver board.
I love that, Susannah. I love the idea of like touching that AlphaHawk on their desk, of just making that connection. So we are going to take time to look at a few displays because we know many of us are visual learners. So we just searched AlphaHawk Walls and Super Improver Facebook page, and these are a few that popped up. I love Tammy's. She had put on her post that she incorporated the happies or virtues with her AlphaHawk wall and added books to the bottom of her little, it looks like it's like a whiteboard with a tray. And she put her books there that went along with each virtue, and then their AlphaHawks are at the top. You can see that this AlphaHawk wall was started, and the great thing is AlphaHawks can be added throughout the year. I know in the past, my students will read a book and they find a character that they want to add to the AlphaHawk wall, and as long as they can give me a Because Crusher, we add that person up on the wall. We have Skittles kindergarten class, their AlphaHawk wall. I loved Abby's idea to put her AlphaHawks above her Super Improver wall, so it kind of incorporates everything together. This was mine a couple years ago. I had my rules and happies on one side, my AlphaHawks on the other, and then my Super Improver right next to that. And last year, here's my full board of AlphaHawks, and my students even started asking to place their AlphaHawk according to which virtue they thought they went with. Like, I told my students that my brother, who retired from the Air Force after 24 years, showed selfless courage. And so they wanted to add their reason incorporating those virtues. Here, Laura Forehand didn't have a bulletin board. You can see she just put it right up on the wall. Again, make it work for you in your classroom. Here is Pam's AlphaHawk wall. Here's another one using that template that Susannah had, but they put it up on the wall with their little paragraph of their whys. This is Dawn McGregor's. And then here is Susannah's wall that she made.
Yes. So one last but truly amazing option that you can add to the end of the year are the AlphaHawk Awards that Joanna Willis, aka Wilsey, created. We all give out rewards at the end of the year. Why not make them meaningful? These are simply $1.25 certificate frames from the Dollar Tree, also known as the $1.25 tree, with Wilsey's certificates from Teachers Pay Teacher that are
free.
Yeah. I simply downloaded the certificates, read through all of them, and matched them up with my class. It was so fun giving out these certificates. I would read the blurb about the AlphaHawk, and the students would be pointing and trying to guess who the winner was. I even had parents post pictures of their students holding these certificates on Facebook last year. They were so proud of their students. One more side note, though, that this file by Wilsey is a great source to pick your world influencer, AlphaHawk, from that we noted above. Who would ever have picked John Deere? But he's a great choice, and your boys will love it.
That's a great tip, Susannah. And just to show you that I did the same thing with the certificates this year, my students were almost 100% accurate on who the student was when we read the blurb. They get to know, they make those connections together and understand each other and who they would be awarded that AlphaHawk award. So this was fast and furious. We appreciate you joining us for the live or watching this later. We hope that you are feeling more comfortable in setting up your whole brain teaching model classroom. Bye.
Bye-bye.